So now we're gonna discuss about the theoretical perspective in the sociology of education. Social scientists have refined theories for a better understanding of the structure of school institutions or of the educational system itself. Among these theories includes the functionalist, conflict, and the symbolic interactionist theory. So what is the functionalist theory? According to Talcott Farson, functionalist theory is the structural functionalism consensus or equilibrium. It focuses on the positive functions performed by the education system such as creating social solidarity, teaching skills necessary for work, teaching core values and role allocation. It starts with the assumption that education is an institution to facilitate the stability of society, which emphasizes the interconnectedness by focusing on how each part is influenced by the other. It happens through passing on society's culture, through which a new generation of children acquire the central norms, values, and culture of their society. So, how is the functionalist theory relevant or implicated in education? It established relationship between schools, institutions, and society which must fulfill necessary societal functions to produce stability. School's main function is to prepare the students to acquire knowledge and skills and values for future employment. Basic functions of school for socialization includes teaching children to become members of the society, teaching children to become productive members of the society, selection and training of individuals for positions in the society, and promoting change and innovations. So from the word function and functional, the focus of this theory is the education or the educational system helps the learners or the students to develop or nurture their skills to become functional or to serve their purpose in the society. Moving on to the conflict theory, it focuses on the issues of contention, power, and inequality, highlighting the competition focuses on culture as a social product. It focuses it questions the functionalist pertaining to the assumptions that schools are ideologically and politically neutral, and that the school functions are based on the merit that each learner has the capacity to efficiently improve his or her own ability to meet the demands and standards of the society. Marx believes that schools gives a false set of ideas and beliefs to students in terms of education quality. Many believe that there is inequality and chance of having quality education. So compared to the functionalist theory, conflict theory is the opposite of it. As in functionalist theory, it believes that the education needs or must nurture or develop the students in order for them to become functional or to serve the society or to meet their standards in the society. However, in conflict theory, it states that the child already have their own potential or qualities to nurture on their own in order for them to meet the standards of the society, and that the education or the educational system is already neutral to that. So how is this theory implicated to society, or how is this relevant to education? So the quality education has a set of standards of which is acceptable to be at its best. This gives the notion that inequality in terms of what they may become and could get from their work is also expected. Students are labeled to be achievers and non-achievers according to their status in society. Those who are more privileged to have better resources for learning and achieving more are given what they really need to develop their skills and competence, while those who are not capable or less fortunate ones are not given the right learning opportunities that limit their abilities to what they are only provided with. So, in conflict theory, we also observe during our elementary days that those achievers, students that are achievers, are nurtured or trained by the school to become their representatives in various competitions and or programs. However, those who are less fortunate are given the less attention which they really needs in order for them to grow. That's what the conflict theory is trying to say. Now, moving on to the symbolic interactionist, its major concept is it focuses on how people share symbols and construct society as a result of their everyday interactions. Examines what teachers and students do in school. They question even the most commonplace, taking for granted actions and interactions things most people do not question. It uses cultural symbols such as words and nonverbal body language and gestures during interaction. Through this process, people develop a sense of self and create a reality with others. So how is this implicated to education? Interactions between students and teachers help develop a set of expectations for students' performance both in academic subjects and discipline. Asking questions in a social psychological way on the frequent and familiar relationship between school participants is what interactionists do. It is what sociologists of education use as an avenue for the students, teachers, and principals in a school. So, the students learn through interaction how they are different from others based on individual experiences, social, class, and status. So, in this theory, the learners able to learn how they are different from one another, how they interact with one another based on the status they have in their society or how they observe from what within self. They can, through education or through the schools, they can they can observe how teachers interact with teachers, how learners interact with learners, how learners interact with the teachers, and how learners interacts with the staffs and or the principals. Through this, the learners will be able to learn how to communicate. To summarize, the difference between the three theories is in functionalist theory, this school nurture the students or the learners to make them functional or for them to find out to make them competent before they serve or in order for them to serve the society. Now, in conflict theory, the society, its implication to education is that it builds competition between the members of the society or between the learners or the students, as in this theory there will be different standards or norms or standards for the students to be to improve in order for them to reach that standards. In this theory, the students are labeled as achievers and non-achievers. And in the symbolic interactionist, the learners are able to understand how each individuals differ from one another, or how they can differentiate themselves from what they can observe from the society they are moving in. Just like how they should interact with the teacher, how they should interact with their co-learners, how they should interact if they were to become a staff, how will they interact with the principal and to the other officials of the school.